What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining. Hope you are having a great one today, as always. I'm very excited. We are obviously looking at Ash Williams from The Evil Dead, the exclusive deluxe edition from Asmus Collectible Toys. Now, there are two different versions of this figure as we take a little bit of a look at the beautiful brown shipper. There is a standard edition and then the exclusive deluxe, which we have here. Now, some interesting tidbits. The deluxe comes basically with this accessory display stand that you see here, as well as an alternate head sculpt. Other than that, pretty much the same main figure. Now, what's kind of unique about this one is there was a ton of backlash about the figure from the collectible world when it first came out and was actually launched. And I can kind of show you a little bit just with this picture here. So this Henrietta accessory that fits into the base, when they sent out the first run of the figures, it was not painted and did not have hair. So they had to recall a bunch. Anybody that had one ordered through Sideshow, like myself, had to wait a little bit longer, and they ended up sending out a replacement here. Now, to be honest, I'm not sure if they cracked these open and took the bad one out, or if that's going to be in here as well. I'm kind of hoping we get it just so we can compare the two of them so you can see how hideous it looked, but if not, it is not the end of the world. Alrighty. The main guy here, we're going to have some work to do, I think. Let's set that right under. Alright, so there's the actual figure itself, which we will get to in a bit. Let me get this display base on out of here. Sadly, it looks like they packed this with a ton of tape, which, as we all know, my least favorite thing, and a whole bunch of styrofoam. So, we're making progress there. I'm just going to go ahead and start with the display base because it's honestly just a couple pieces of tape holding this thing together, and my handy knife here will do the job. Alright, so we do get the original Henrietta as well. She does definitely have paint, but certainly no hair. So I'm excited to see the differences. But here is the original one, which, as you can see, missing the hairpiece. So that's kind of fun. I guess we'll just go right to the replacement one. Now, I'm hoping they didn't do anything wild, like just send me a wig and some glue and be like, here you go. This should be a full-on replacement of that piece there, hopefully with hair as well. We shall see. And if not, well, I guess we will be doing the old return. And one thing I will give a lot of credit to Asmus about, once people started being not too happy with things, they actually kind of responded and took care. Also, they've got a replacement sticker. I forgot to mention the name on the base plate is misspelled, so they send you a sticker to swap that out as well. Honestly, that's not a big issue to me. Even Hot Toys has done that before, so I'm not horribly upset. And you do get a full replacement of Henrietta, and she does have hair in there, so we'll go ahead and take her out. Interestingly, it's not a whole lot, but I'm actually going to leave her suffocating just to keep the hair in place. You can see, no, we'll take it off. That wasn't so bad. Definitely a difference there. Now you might be wondering where her arm is. That's going to be separate. And it should, for the most part, hopefully just click in. gonna take a little effort. Oh, that's a tight fit. Alright, I am gonna do what I often do in this situation and wait. I'm gonna heat this up with a probably a hairdryer, warm that up a little bit. Warm up this part as well, just so it'll snap into place a little easier, because that is really, really snug. And with my luck, I'll end up dropping and breaking something. But, just for comparative sake, we'll kind of do them separately. So you can definitely see a color difference between the two. Honestly, I've got an idea. This might take a moment, but I think will be worth it. Maybe. Just maybe. This is where I wish I had it set up in my light box. Alright, there you go. So you can definitely see a color difference. The paint app on the wound is dramatically different on the repaint. Just the detail, it looks way more wet, way more bloody. Also, that one's got a slit on the wrist, which I don't... Yeah, okay, it is in there. And then even the head, which I don't really think we're going to need that to see the difference. I mean, it's dramatic, to say the least. There you go. Yeah, that's really quite a change. I would have not been happy if I got this. Even though it is just sitting in the bottom of the base, this is way closer to what they advertised. The fact that they actually went ahead and did a separate one and kind of listened to people complaining is amazing, so hats off to them for that. This one is funny, though. I'll give them credit for that. I don't think that's what they wanted, but hey. So you also get a vise, which, just for the sake of time, I'm not going to fully assemble. It doesn't look like it'll be overwhelmingly difficult. It does have some moving parts, which is kind of fun. This is to put Deadite Linda's head in, which I'm assuming will be in the box. I don't see it in there, unless it's hidden under something. We'll take a look. It is plastic, but the paint they did on it's fantastic, so knockout job with that. I kind of wish it had some blood on it. That's okay. Not the end of the world by any means. Let me suffocate her again. And this is the actual base part, which, ooh, that's got some weight to it. There we go. So this is kind of why I didn't care about this little sticker. I'm going to be using this, so it doesn't matter to me. There is another component which sticks right on the back there. I see what they did. All right. Also, these are numbered. Supposedly to 666. I don't see a number on the actual item, though. Which is kind of sad. I'll dig around a little bit, see if I can find it. And this should have the back of that. Yep. So this piece here. Oh, did I already manage to tangle that up so badly? I'll deal with that later. That'll essentially just fit right into there. I will say the stand is pretty massive, all things considered, which is a good thing. You're going to want it to be big enough so that it doesn't look weird with Ash on it. So they got the size pretty darn good. And honestly, the paint on it's pretty outstanding as well. It does have a really good wood look to it, which you can kind of see on this. You don't need to see me fix the chain. But you essentially slide Henrietta into that little trapdoor area. It rests on top of her, and you're good to go. Now on to the figure itself. Got a nice little thank you back there, which is super fun. And the box, pretty darn outstanding. I like when they do something like this that just shows the figure in the box itself. I should have just left it the other way. Alright, so the back is kind of nice because you got the cool little Necronomicon action. Slide it down just so you can see the face. And then they do a window box as well, but it's way more fun to see the figure not behind carbonite. So we're going to go ahead and pull that out. If I can. Success. Alrighty, here we go. A little instruction manual. I can't imagine it's going to be overly complicated by any means. Yeah, it pretty much just gives you the rundown on how to change out the body parts. That was one thing that I thought was kind of cool, is they give you alternate arms. So if you want to do sleeveless and all that good stuff, you can. I have no idea how I'm going to end up displaying him as of yet. So really couldn't quite tell you. You do get a bunch of hands. We'll just kind of do that so you can get a quick look at them. They're hand sculpts. I don't want to spend too much time on them, but you do get a ton of different positions. So you can have them doing all sorts of fun stuff. There you go with them. We'll take a closer look at the ones on the man himself. Alrighty, here we go. Now they were nice and didn't heavily overtape things, so I appreciate that. Alright, so we're just going to start right up there. I'm digging the head sculpt. It is quite groovy, as he would say. They did a really good job on the paint with that. Definitely digging that. Really stiff joint in the neck as well, so that's kind of fun. Now I'm going to go right to one thing that I noticed right off the bat that kind of makes me upset. So the rip in his pants here. I honestly don't know if it's supposed to be there. I'll have to check. But what concerns me as well is that. So I think that might not be the way it's supposed to be. I'm going to do a little bit digging and find out, because if not, I may have to send it back. The thing is, they do weather the heck out of him, and he is supposed to be damaged up a bit. So that might be normal. Couldn't quite tell you. But we'll take a look-see. I feel like it's looks too much like a tear than anything else. I'm a little suspect of it, but we'll see. Now, other than that, he does have a pretty good range of motion, which you would kind of expect. The fabric that they used is very, very nice in that regard. And the joints on the body are pretty dang fantastic. So he's going to be able to hold a ton of wacky poses if you want them to. So that's quite exciting there. Yeah, he's got some really stiff leg joints, which is nice. No ab crunch, which, you know, not the end of the world. Does feel like a double joint in the elbow. Might be wrong on that. Let's see. Oh yeah, he's double jointed. So you get a ton of good posing out of that. But for now, we can just set you right back in your lovely home. Now we've also got his infamous Boomstick, which we will take a quick look at here. It is plastic. I was kind of hoping they would have done metal. It does open up, which is nice. They actually did a pretty good job with that. It's not the best gun I've ever seen, to be honest. If you're really picky, you might want to replace it. The wood looks like plastic trying to be wood, for lack of a better word. The metal they did a good job with, but I just don't like the wood finish they did there. It does come with the Book of the Dead as well, which that looks fantastic. They did a knockout job with that. They do have all of the pages done. I don't want to open it up too much, but they are all done, which is super cool. So if you really wanted to, you can kind of go through all of that. I don't want to open up the book all the way. I imagine it would not be good for it. Can't say for certain, but I feel like that would be a bad idea. He's also got the cool Kendarian Dagger. Now this is kind of neat. It's pretty dang flexible. They could have done metal out of that, but I'm kind of glad they went plastic. That's actually really cool. They did a good job with that. Now you see this a lot more in the TV show, so if you haven't seen Ash vs. the Evil Dead, it's a bloody good time. I would recommend checking it out. This dagger definitely plays a big role throughout that show, so it's cool getting this in there. And of course, his infamous chainsaw. You gotta have his backup hand, which they did a pretty darn good job on that. It definitely looks rusty and gross the way it should. Alright, I'm really hoping that they did this. I have low expectations, but I want to see if they gave you a pullable rip cord. Alright, you can pull it out a little bit. I'm not going to yank it too far, but you can give it a little tug. So that makes me happy. It's got some wiggle to it. That's kind of fun. Nice job with that. Other important thing of note, you get his possessed hand. So if you want to have the Bloody Ash hand, there you have it. And that is fantastic. They did a real good job with that guy. Oh, look at how gross that is. I love it. That's perfect. Very cool. All right. And now we can, for the most part, slide this out. Oh, I forgot one part. He does also have the bandage. So if you want it to be right after he cut off his hand, to where he's got the stump wrapped up, you have that option. Which that's that's kind of a fun little add-on in there. I'm going to try and safely open this because the other heads are behind him, as well as the alternate outfit. So there you get the ripped up shirt. I'm not going to take it out. It's basically just kind of bloodied and cut up. And this, if you see how frayed it is, that's actually why I'm not overly concerned with the pants, because that's kind of how that shirt is too. I just don't know if that's how the pants are supposed to be. And then you do get the seamless arms, which we are going to take these out because I want to look at the hoods anyways. Alrighty, so there you go. Oh, that's a stiff joint. Yikes. Alright, that looks disgusting. So that's just hideous right there. I don't know what they were thinking with that. Oh, that's gross. So there's basically, I mean, you can honestly see it. It's pretty much just a sleeve that goes over the plastic armature there. But that is, I mean, I guess, you know, maybe from across the room, it might not look awful. It looks awful like that. Like that just looks not like a human arm. Even that looks pretty terrible. So really, I would only say to use these if you're doing straight arm pose. Ooh, yikes. Yikes. No bueno. That's a pretty bad one. Yeah, I can't really defend that in any way. That was a poor choice, Asmus. Poor choice there. Now, the alternate zombie ash head, on the other hand, you did good with. So, I'm going to end up just using this and making a separate zombie figure. Because it's really too good of a head sculpt to go to waste. I almost think you could... You might be... Maybe I'll do a zombie Superman. I feel like I could use that as a zombie Superman head. Who knows? Something to play around with. And the important one, Creepy Linda. I'm going to leave her in the bag because they did awesome with her hair. I don't want to mess it up too badly. They actually gave it some really good curl, which is uncommon for rooted hair. I don't see that too often. They did a good job with that. And honestly... she looks super creepy. I love it. We'll keep her in the bag, so if you kiss her, you're safe. Don't worry. And pretty much you would just plop her in the vise. Oh man, they did such a good job with that. I don't understand how you could do, like, you got that sort of gore and detail on it. And then you make those seamless arms. And to be fair, you didn't need them. I mean, it's an added bonus, so I'm not going to complain too much, but they're pretty bad. I did forget to check the actual feet. He's got a decent amount of play there. No real left and right pivot, but good amount of movement. And the shoes look good. I'm just worried about that spot. I'm hoping I find out that's normal. Fortunately, Sideshow's good about this sort of thing if it's within your 30 days. I've learned that part the hard way. But I am within 30 days, so we're good. And then there's the Ash Willems base, which just has some blood spatter on the ground. Like I said, I'm not going to use that anyways, just because the... Deluxe one is so much cooler than this, but there you have it. So at least you get it. I guess that's something. Now, if you do get the regular version, that's going to be the base that you end up with. I don't know if they actually fixed the base or not. Like, I'm not sure if they repackaged it. I think you're pretty much just stuck with getting a sticker. Not necessarily the end of the world, but if you're overly concerned about bases, that might be something to be mindful of. Stay in there, buddy. All right, good enough. So yeah, honestly, if this is one that you've been looking at, that's why I didn't stand. I'll rebox them later. You do have two options. The standard version's about $200. You get basically everything in this box here. You get the alternate hands. You get the Necronomicon, the Boomstick, the Dagger, the Chainsaw. I don't know if you get the bandage. That part I'm not sure of. And I don't know if you get the alternate shirt. You might want to double check. Deluxe one's going to give you the bonus head. It's going to give you the Linda, and then you're going to have the Henrietta and all of that good stuff. Apparently 2 Henriettas, because you get one that's hideous and missing hair. But definitely a fun one. Now the Deluxe is a little bit more expensive, and I think the only place that still has them available is Sideshow. So if it is one that you are interested in, like I said, they are limited, so you might want to jump on that. It is a little bit more expensive for the deluxe version, but you do get quite a bit extra with it, so it's probably worth the extra bang for your buck. Well, thank you so much for everything. This one's been a little bit longer than normal, but there was a lot to it, so I am glad you stuck it out. Look forward to the next one. Take care.